Hey, welcome to part 2 of our two-story house tutorial. In this section, I'm going to show you how to name your file, how to save it, and start building the basic structure of your house. So before we start building, what you want to remember with SketchUp it does not save automatically as you go. Tinkercad does that, Google Docs do that, so you're probably used to that, but in SketchUp it does not always save as you go. So what we're going to want to do is create a file, and I'm going to show you how to save as you go. So to name this file and create it, we're going to go up to where it says Untitled. We're going to click that. And then it's going to open up this big Save To box. You're going to want to save this into your Google Drive. So your file will be able to be accessed no matter where you are. So you're going to click Drive. And I would recommend creating a folder by clicking the button that I'm highlighting and call it SketchUp or SketchUp Projects. You can see that I already have a folder made for my SketchUp projects. So I'm going to go ahead and open that folder. But like I said, if you haven't made one yet, go ahead and make yourself a folder. You'll thank yourself later. So I'm going to click SketchUp Projects. And you can see I already started a two-story practice house. But I'm going to name this two-story house. Okay, so name your file something that makes sense and something that you'll remember. I'm going to click Save here. And now this file will be saved to our drive. Up there when this says saved and it's grayed out, that means everything's saved. As you work, it will sometimes save automatically, but not that often. What you want to do every time you make a change you like, go up and click the Save Right Here button. It'll turn blue and say Save. That means you can click it and save the changes you made. Okay, so now let's make the basic structure of our house. First, what we're going to want to do is zoom out the camera a little bit. And I'm going to hold down Shift and click my scroll wheel and shift over a little bit so that the woman is off to the left-hand side. We're going to use this as our main area to build our house. Now, most of the exterior building that's done is using a few of the same tools that we're going to use multiple times in this tutorial. The first thing we want to do is we want to draw out a big, large rectangle that's going to be the foundation of our house. This is going to be the length and the width that we want our house to be. To do that, we're going to go over to all these different tools, and about halfway down, you're going to see the rectangle tool. So I'm going to click that. Now it gives you other shapes that you can use that we may get to later, but we're going to keep it as rectangle. That's what it makes as default. You can always click the rectangle again if you want to. Now your icon should turn into a pencil with a little rectangle next to it. Now, what you're going to want to do is we are going to go to the origin where all these axes meet, and we're going to click once and let go. A common mistake students make early on is they click and hold the mouse button. SketchUp's a little bit different. When you click and let go, that means you're stuck there. And now you can see as I move my mouse, it's automatically making this rectangle to wherever I pull out that opposite corner. Now down at the very bottom right hand of the screen, you're going to see something that says dimensions, and it's showing you the length and width, feet and inches. Right now, for example, my dimensions in the bottom right-hand corner says 32 feet and then about by 41 feet. Those other numbers, the 5 and 7/16 and 11 and 11, those are all inches. We'll just go by the feet. And we're going to kind of eyeball this. It doesn't have to be exact. So we're going to make a house that is at least in the 30s, and you can use that human as your point of reference for how long and how wide you want your house to be. You can even use the scroll wheel and hold it to move your camera and adjust it as you're making this. So I'm going to make something that's about 40 by 35, 40 feet by 35 feet. And then we'll go ahead and click. When you click, now you have this box. And now what we want to do is we want to make it three-dimensional, because right now we just have this two-dimensional rectangle. We want to drag this up to make the height of our house. To do that, we're going to go over to our push-pull tool. When we click that, again, there's other options that we'll use later, but you want to make sure that you select push-pull. What this tool does is it allows you to push and pull the different sides of an object. We're going to lift up our house. So we're going to go here, and you'll notice this turns like a shaded blue color. And when I use the left mouse button and click and hold, it's going to start to drag my house up, turning it into a three-dimensional shape. Now we want to make this a two-story house. So if I was making a one-story house, I'd use the human as my reference and try to make it about the height of a roof that I think he or she would want. To make this a 2-story house, we're going to want to go about double that height. And again, we are just kind of estimating. We can always change this if we need to. But we're going to go up to about there. If I want to check the distance of this, I can use my arrow. Click that right there. Okay, and right click. And entity info. Sorry, that took me a moment to find it. If I use the mouse, select the pointer, and right click on that line, it can give me the height of that. So it's about 13 feet high. We'll go with that for right now. Let's click this arrow here to get that out of the way. And the cool thing about the push-pull tool is, if we select it again, is now we can modify the sides of our house too. If you wanted to make your house a little shorter or a little longer, you could pull it out in that direction. If you wanted to shorten how deep it goes back there, you can. So go ahead and pick a size for a 2-story house that you'd like. Again, make it at least double the height of the human. Right now mine's saying it's, again, about 13 feet or so. But go ahead and pick the size of the house that you want to start with. And then after you do that, don't forget to go up and click Save, and it will save all of your changes.